welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are a seasoned subscriber. My name is Jelisa and my channel name is Tameless, and you can find me on Instagram under Tameless in Style. And today's video is a Black History Month kind of appreciation video. So I'll be appreciating some of my favorite Black-owned and Black-owned brands and Black created products that I'll be featuring today. So I'm super excited about it. I tried to get something that's just in about every category, but I might have, of course, I didn't get every category available in the world, but I got the best. And to be clear, these are brands that I use and love, and I don't use and love them just because they are Black owned. That is a major plus, or Black created. I use them and own them because I love what they're offering and behind their company missions. So I will say that I have stumbled across some of these and like literally had no idea that they were Black owned or Black created, and then some of them I definitely of course knew, and you'll see why I knew because of, you know, who the face of the company may be, but I guess we'll just kind of jump in. So first I'm going to go into a little bit of like clothing, and then it has other categories associated with it, but I'll explain. So it's from Target. So Target had a Black Beyond Measure collection that they came out with in January in all of their stores. So it was in their kind of, you know, that area right in front of the store. So you have the dollar section on like one side, and then on the other side you have the Target bullseye section on one side, and then on the other side you usually have what they're standing for. So around Christmas they had family pajamas. During the springtime they usually have women's swimsuits. I think one time they had like during the winter they had like coats. Like it just kind of coats for the family. It just depends on like what they're standing for. And in January they had their Black Beyond Measure. Now I have noticed we're middle of February and there's like maybe like one fixture left because they sold through most of it, which is amazing. I don't know if that's like at all Targets, but I know my local Targets, they've sold through most of it, which is super exciting. But I did grab, there's a bunch of products, food, housewares, clothing for mom, dad, kids. I bought 2 shirts and I got them from the men's line. Just because I like my t-shirts to fit a little bit looser, especially just like a classic tee. So I got a black, and they both have lists of names. So the black one says Gordon, Frederick, Malcolm, Booker, and Washington. I love shirts like this. I had my sister make one on her Cricut for my dad for Christmas, which for Father's Day, which I thought was super cute, and because he has 5 daughters and it had like all of our names on it, so I thought that was super cute. But yeah, so I got this guy, and then I also got it in gray. Now one I got in the store and one I ordered online. I think I ordered the gray one online, don't quote me, I'm not sure, because one of them wasn't online only. The gray one I know comes in all for the whole family, like all the way down to onesies, which I think is super cute. But the gray one says Malcolm, Harriet, Langston, Maya, and Frederick. So some of the names repeat, but not all of them, and that's totally fine. They were 10 bucks, yep, $10, so can't beat it, and I'm all for it. I don't know if they're Black created. I don't know like what the story is behind them. I do know like the tags are super cute. It says Black History Month on it. And then there's like a little design on there. And they definitely do have brands and products that correlate back to, that are made and created by Black people. I think these are just t-shirts from their normal line. The line is well worn, so I'm pretty sure that's their normal men's line. If you know, please comment below and let us know, but I'm pretty positive that's just their men's line because I tried to look it up and didn't find anything about it. So there's that. Okay, so partaking on that, love that little play. So I was in Trader Joe's, and I'm always like Trader Joe's is like my snack go-to. I get suckered into all kinds of things at Trader Joe's, but definitely snacks. I feel like they have healthy versions. They have things that are like good for you all over the place. So I was walking through, and I'm a sucker for packaging, and I saw this box of cookies. Well, not this box, this is my second box, but anyways, I saw this box of cookies, and the brand name is Partake, and they're sprinkle cookies. And what grabbed my attention was that they said top 8 allergen-free, vegan, and gluten-free. Now my best friend is gluten-free, and my nephew is allergic to everything under the sun. So I'm always kind of looking to see like what I see that, you know, can benefit either of them. For gluten-free, a lot of things say they're gluten-free, and it's like, well, duh, you wouldn't have been made with gluten anyways, and I learned that shopping with her. But just like, you know, different things, like especially like cookies usually have gluten in them. So I thought that was super cool. But anywho, so they are a Black created, Black owned company. Denise Woodard is the creator of this. She made them because her daughter Vivian had allergies. So she wanted to create a nice snack for her, which I thought was super cute. So they're nut-free, egg-free, wheat-free, dairy-free, soy-free, fish-free, shellfish-free, mustard-free, sesame-free, and sulfate-free, which apparently are the top 8 allergens. And they're school safe. So that's super cool because I know a lot of my friends have kids, and like when it's time to like bring snacks and stuff to the school, like they have to be like super specific about what's in it because of all the allergies that kids have nowadays. I feel like when I was in school, like you just brought whatever, and like we didn't have too much of that problem. It was just like, does something have peanuts in it? But otherwise than that, like I feel like everybody just kind of ate whatever, but times have changed. But anyways, I'm obsessed. This is my second box. This is what's left. They're not large at all. Serving size is 3, 140 calories, and 3 cookies. They are crunchy. They do come in chocolate. Let me put these away. They do come in chocolate chip, and I'm not a, like if I'm eating I'm not a big chocolate fan, and if I'm eating a chocolate chip cookie, I need it to be like hot, soft, or like both. Like, and these are crunchy, so I think the sprinkle ones are like bomb.com for me. But you know, if that's your thing. But I thought these were super cool, and I did this with Target because I actually didn't know that they were Black owned. I just thought it was a new snack at Trader Joe's. It was allergen free, great. And then when I went to Target, I saw them in the Black Beyond Measure shop, and I was like, wait a minute, and I looked it up and found out, and I was like, well, that's amazing. So that's what I'm talking about, having great product that it doesn't matter, you know, if we find out that they're a Black owned company or not. And we're not supporting them just because they're a Black owned company. We're supporting them because the cookies are freaking bomb. So there's that. Now the next one is something that I have talked about before in the past, and that is my Goldie Super Whisk. And then I use the Matcha Turmeric. So you can see this bag is pretty much empty. I add 1 teaspoon to my coffee every day. And the Goldie is actually created by Trinity Mauzon. And I had no idea, again, that this was a Black owned company. And it just kind of like popped up. Like I was reading one of those articles where it's like Black owned companies you should shop. And I was just like scrolling through it. I always just scroll through it to just kind of get educated and like see what's out there in the marketplace. And I found that, and I was like, well, that's awesome. I was like, I've been supporting this brand already. Like, I got gifted this for this and the face mask. I haven't used it yet, but I've got this and the face mask for Christmas. And then I went ahead and ordered the Whisk and the trial pack that I showed in my January haul, and I'm obsessed. And like, I'm like, this is a trial pack, so if you have never used matcha before, you're not familiar, oh, it's backwards, sorry. If you've never used matcha before, you're not familiar, I think the sampler pack is a great way to go. It can be a little bit pricey. The matcha, I believe the big bag is like $30 or a little over $30, and this guy's $20. It comes with 3 different flavors in it, so you can try and see what you like before you kind of dive in and buy a bag, because the bag does last a long time. We're in the middle of February and it's like a month and a half, and I still have some left in there. Not a lot, but there's left in there. So there's those. And then moving kind of into skincare and hair. So Black Girl Sunscreen, created and owned by Shantae Lundy. She is now also being sold in Target. Target's on it, guys. Target is bringing in the Black-owned products, Black-owned companies, Black created products, and they're like, we doing it, we supporting it, and I appreciate that. But she is now sold in Target. I bought these directly from her, and I'm obsessed. So because we were stuck in the house for so long, when I did travel in end of June, I got sunburned the first day that I was outside, and didn't even realize, like I was like, I don't usually sunburn. Like I get tan for sure, but I don't usually like burn. And I got burned, and my mom got burnt the first day. And I was like, okay, well, I need to start like using like sunscreen. I usually have it, but like only use it if we're like gonna be out at the beach. I'll like spray some sunscreen on before we go and like go about my day. And we weren't like, it was literally, we were just like out walking around doing everyday things, and I got burnt. But anywho, so I was looking for sunscreen because sunscreens, we all know, they have the smell, they're not good for you, yada yada boom boom. And I love this sunscreen because first of all, it's thin. It doesn't, just put a little bit. So it doesn't, there's it on my skin, and you see how easily it's rubbing in, and it doesn't leave a white film on my skin, which is amazing. The scent, of course, it's that, I'm not gonna lie and say it doesn't have the scent of sunscreen. It does, but it's very faint. And like as it melts into your skin, the scent goes away. You're not like walking around smelling like sunscreen. I'll read what's on the package. So broad spectrum SPF 30 infused with jojoba and avocado, water resistant for 80 minutes. Oxybenzoin and octinoxate free, ultra sheer and no white residue, fragrance free. Obsessed. I think it was 18 bucks. I used it when I went away for Christmas and it was amazing. Obsessed, 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 obsessed. So great product to buy. And you, I literally got it from seeing it on an Instagram ad, but you can, like I said, get it at Target now. And she just came out with a one for face. I used this one on my face. I just put it on my hands and kind of pressed it in. And I felt like it was fine because it does say for face and body, but she did come out with a matte one for face. So like if you want to put, like usually when I'm on vacation, I don't wear makeup. But if you wanted to do that, like you can do that. So exciting about that. All right, so next thing is hair. So I stumbled across Briogeo. So had, again, no idea that it was a Black-owned company. I got a sample from Sephora. You know when you're ordering and you get to the end and they're like, oh, do you want 3 samples? Picked up a sample because it was a scalp, this is a scalp exfoliating shampoo. So my scalp can get, as I've noticed since I've been natural, my scalp can get a little bit yucky. So and like regular shampoo, the shampoo brush, none of that was really working. I still felt like I literally would have to wash my hair like so often because I just felt like gross. Started using I used the sample and I was like, what? Like I'm obsessed, like what? It's sold at Nordstrom. It's sold, I believe it's sold at Ulta, don't quote me. I believe it's sold at Sephora. Well, it's sold at Sephora, like literally sold so many places. And I'm usually wary with hair brands that are sold in those places because, to be completely honest with you, they usually don't cater to people of color. They're usually, you know, very overpriced in my opinion, and they're not made for like girls with curls and girls that are natural. Like the things that they're like, oh, do you want more volume? And I'm like, I got volume, boo. I don't need more volume. Like I need moisture. I need, like, there's the things that I'm looking for in shampoos and conditioners and hair products they usually aren't catering to. So I was super excited to stumble across this. It's made by Nancy Twine, is the owner of Briogeo. Obsessed. I had my sample, used it. I bought a smaller jar because, you know, sometimes you get that sample and it sounds great and you're like, I got the smaller jar, used that up in a heartbeat. So I ordered the jumbo jar. I was using it for my like everyday not everyday shampoo, but I wash my hair like once a week. I was using it like once a week. Then I used to like 2 weeks. Now I'm at like once a month. I'm using it and my scalp has never been better. Like it's amazing. I just put it on the ball of my hand, on my fingers, and then I just get underneath there and like rubbing it, and like you can like feel it. Like you can feel like the weight lifting off of your scalp, which is weird. I also got the leave-in conditioner that I ordered when I ordered this. I haven't tried her yet, but you know, I'm sure she's great. But I can only vouch for the exfoliating scrub. So if you're thinking about it, get that exfoliating shampoo. It does come in like a little mini size that you can try out and see if you love it as much as I do. But obsessed. All right, and then rounding out the beauty end, Fenty. So this is where it gets a little controversial. So Fenty Beauty is created by, of course, Rihanna. So we all immediately are like, okay, it's a Black-owned company. It is actually owned by LVMH. LVMH is Louis Vuitton, Moet, Hennessy, and they own Sephora, which is where Fenty is exclusively sold at Fenty.com and at Sephora. So LVMH owns Sephora, which is why that partnership is there. And they all actually own a majority of Fenty Beauty. So there's also Fenty Clothing, which they do own. I actually just found out like hot off the press today. They are actually not going to be producing any more Fenty clothing. They've had some soft sales, and then with the pandemic, it hasn't been really great. And we'll get into the clothing sector next. But yeah, so obsessed. Like, I'm obsessed. Like, so obsessed. Like, so obsessed. Like, I literally, and this is only like half of what I have. I just brought some of it. Like, I literally have pretty much the entire collection. The matchsticks, I'm all for. Contour, I used one before she came out with her concealer, I used to use one as a concealer. Now, of course, I use it with my contour, but I still use it as a concealer sometimes, like it melts into your skin. I use her original foundation. Now I love the hydrating foundation a little bit more, but both. She has two different primers. There's different one that they recommend for each foundation, so I have both of those. My favorite product, this eyebrow wax. So, oh, it's gross, guys. So there's a little brush on here. I'm not gonna zoom in because it's gross. And then there is like it's like a clear wax, and like you can't even, like, I wonder if you can even tell on camera on my hand, like you can't even see it, but it just literally makes your eyebrows just like stick, like stay. It's like for girls with full eyebrows, like you need this in your life. I think it's like 20 bucks. This is my literal favorite product from Fenty Beauty, like hands down. So if you don't do anything in life, if you don't try anything from the brand, try this because I'm obsessed. So that wraps up beauty. So now we'll get kind of back into brands. So like I said, they are not going to be continuing with the Fenty clothing line that Rihanna created. It is owned by LVMH, but I believe she was the creative director. And I believe she's the only and first creative director of color under the LVMH house. So super disappointing that they won't no longer be going on with the brand. And then there is also another brand that I like loved, Cushney. So Cushney It Talks, and then became Cushney, made by Carly Cushney. Obsessed. She's dressed Michelle Obama, J-Lo, Selena Gomez, Hilary Duff, like literally so many people. If you're thinking about simple and sexy, a Cushney dress is where you're going. Like it's literally gonna be just like that sultry, like very much like spaghetti strap, just like LBD, like she does bright color, like just everything about her dresses were just like amazing. Dresses and jumpsuits, top of the line. Definitely high-end designer looks. And then she came out with a line last May, I believe it was, at Target. I did get a dress. I don't have it with me, but I will insert a photo of me in it. Obsessed. Like, her stuff is just amazing. Unfortunately, in October, she announced that she would be closing her brands. I think, you know, she launched in the middle of her Target collection launched in the middle of a pandemic. I don't know how well that did. It probably didn't do as well as expected because nobody was buying dresses like that in the middle of the pandemic. And then she just decided that she's gonna no longer be designing. I feel like we're gonna see more from Carly. Don't know how and in what capacity, if she'll work for like another house instead of doing her own brand, but like her stuff is amazing. So I know that like a great designer like her, we're gonna see more from her. It's super sad that she had to close her house, but this is just where it comes down to just like knowledge and just being able to support our the brands out there that are Black owned and Black created, and just like knowing what's, you know, happening out there. It's like everybody's like Gucci, 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 but no one like thinks about like all of the other like designer and like luxury brands that really have really great craftsmanships, and that's really where it comes down to, where luxury, and that's where like my love of luxury comes from. Like back in the day, I was the Forever 21 girl head to toe, back, you know, when I was in my 19s, because that's what I could afford. And as soon as I like got a little taste of like luxury and like high end, I was like, oh, I need this. Like what? My shirt's not supposed to fall apart after one time wearing it? What? It's supposed to last me like a lifetime in my closet? Huh? I didn't know that. Girl, this is what I'm talking about. But anyways, reeling it back in, on my last brand that I'm talking about, again, this is a Black designed brand. It's not Black owned, and we're talking about Off-White. So Off-White is owned by New Guards Group, which is owned by Farfetch. If you don't know Farfetch, Farfetch is like a website that has literally pulls like all boutiques from all across the world, and they have like a designer fashion house, which is super cool. You can get like any sold out designer item that's out there in the atmosphere, you can probably get it on Farfetch. So amazing. So I only have one hoodie from Off-White, and I think it's really funny. So I bought it last year in 2020, that lovely year that we all love, in February, right before the pandemic. And it's black. It says off with a little heart there in the front. The back, you guys ready? It says Off-White 2020 last night. How, like, really? Like, really? So I have a commemorative piece. I have a hoodie to commemorate 2020, to remember that marvelous, marvelous year that we had. Like, So exciting. But anywho, so yeah, so got this lovely hoodie up. It is really great quality. It fits amazing. Off-White is super pricey. I did end up snagging it on sale, but the original price of it was like $800. I spotted it in the boutique in Vancouver, Canada when I went up there in February to visit, actually like a year ago this weekend. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with the hoodie, but I was like, I don't want to pay $800 for the hoodie. And then I went home and looked it up online, and I got it off of the app. I'm gonna link, I'll put it up. It's like it's like a streetwear app that has, it's kind of like a Farfetch, but streetwear, and it's like H something. It's 3 letters, and one's an H and one's an X, and I don't know what the other one is. But I got it from there, and it was $300, and I got it literally like the week after I had just seen it in the store for $800. So I guess they knew that 2020 was going downhill, and that's why they had it marked down. But that's fine. I've washed it in the regular washing machine, and it's held up amazing. Of course, I don't wash it with like everything. I wash it on cold. I wash it with like delicate, all of that. But like, obsessed, and this is like my go-to travel hoodie because it is not fleeced, but it is heavy. Like, it's heavy, but it's not fleeced. It's like more of a terry, and it just like, as you're traveling from like warm to cold and cold to warm, it's like the perfect just like throw on for like on the plane where you're not gonna get hot. So kind of obsessed. But that wraps up my favorite Black owned brands, Black created products. So proud of all of you guys. If you guys have some that you love, make sure that you put those below. And again, I support these brands because they have amazing product, and you know, amazing designs, and just really fashion forward trendy pieces. So again, make sure that you are, you know, link your people that you love down below because I want to see it, I want to hear about it. And anywho, so that will wrap it up. So make sure that you like the video and give me a comment below. Again, tell me what you guys are seeing out there, what you love, some brands I might not know. And then make sure that you subscribe to my channel. Watch another video. Again, subscribe. It helps me so much, and it's free. Thank you so much. Bye.